Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. This is Champion 2D Rob back again. This is going to be a pickups video, but it's not really going to be about games. It's mostly movies. I do have a couple of games here, but it's not enough to really justify it as a gaming pickup video. Basically at the moment I've just been sort of holding off from buying games. I have bought a couple of things here and there, but I'm trying to sort of save up for a few big items that I'm planning to get possibly early in the new year. So I'm not really buying much games. Plus I'm trying to stay off the internet as well in terms of buying stuff. As this time of year, the postage is really, postage is really slow. So I'm some of the stuff that I kind of want is sort of more international postage. So I'm just trying to avoid any problems right now. It's not really the best time to be ordering internationally, so I'm holding off until the new year. But in the meantime, I have been picking things up here and there, but mostly these are sort of movies. So I do have, like I say, I do have two games here, but just to pre-warn you, this is mainly movie pickups, stuff that does speak to me. Some new films here, but there's also some stuff that appeals to my nostalgia as well, and I picked them up just purely out of nostalgia. So yeah, let's get going. I think before I get into the games, I'll just get the movies out of the way. I think I'm going to start with my two nostalgic pickups here. These are two Disney films, and they're not the obvious Disney films that most people sort of think of. These are two sort of very underrated movies that I watched back in the day. I actually did see both of these films in the cinema. I believe the first one came out, one came out in 1989, and the other came out, I believe it was in 1990, I think. I'm not too sure, but I did see both of these at the cinema, and from what I recall, they never really seem to get many releases. So when I saw these particular releases, I just had to jump on them, and they come in these really nice collector's slipcases as well. So the first one I want to start with is Basil the Great Mouse Detective, and I believe this film did come out in the late 80s, if I can see here, because I remember I did see this film in the cinema. I can't see a year on this, but yeah, this film did come out in the cinema in the late 80s. I do remember watching this, but I've never watched it since. This is one of those really obscure Disney films that it's not really shown much on TV. I don't recall it ever seeing it on TV. Not like the more sort of traditional Disney films that got were released on TV and you can stream on Netflix or whatnot. But this is one of the more obscure titles, and I remember as a kid I really did enjoy it, but I haven't seen it since then. So I'm going to be very curious to see what it's going to be like, as I don't really remember much of it. But yeah, it comes in this really nice collector's slipcase. It says this is number 26. So there is like a series of these sort of collector's slipcases. I don't see myself picking them all up, but I thought this was definitely a really good addition. As yeah, I look forward to seeing what this one is like, because my memory of it is very hazy, but from what I do remember enjoying it. So looking forward to this one. And the next one I got is the Rescuers Down Under. Now, when I was a kid, I saw the original Rescuers film. I saw it in the cinema as well, but that one was like I believe it was a re-release. I think in the 80s, Disney sort of re-released a lot of their movies in the cinema, and because I believe that film came out, I think it was a 70s movie, if I'm not mistaken. But this sequel didn't come out until 1990, I believe. I could be wrong. It's definitely the early 90s. So I did get to see this one in the cinema, and I think it's a very underrated sequel. I know normally most people tend to shun the sequels of Disney films, but I think this one is a little bit different. I really did enjoy this film back when I was a kid. Again, this is one that I have not seen in a very long time. But again, from what I remember of it, it looked like a great film, and I can't wait to check it out. And again, this has got the collector's slipcase, and this is number 29. So yeah, looking forward to seeing this one. And the next film I've got here, this is a new film, a newish film, and that is Tom Cruise's Edge of Tomorrow. A fantastic movie, guys. this film, when it came out, when the trailer first came out for this film, I actually thought it looked, I didn't think it didn't look that special. I thought it would look pretty mundane. The trailer really did not do this film any favours. And unfortunately, the film suffered for it. I mean, those of us lucky enough to see it in the cinema, you know, were amazed by such a really, really great film. Fun movie, really enjoyable. Unfortunately, the trailer didn't really sell the movie very well. And the film didn't do that well in the cinema in terms of box office. But those that have seen the film have praised the movie. It's a really good film. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's another solid sci-fi action movie from Tom Cruise. You know, and I think, you know, so far he's done all right. I mean, I know some people didn't really like Oblivion. I thought that movie was okay. But then you got movies like Minority Report, which I thought was fantastic. And I think this is another solid science fiction movie from Tom Cruise. So definitely check this one. Check this one out, guys. Highly recommend this movie. And the last two I've got here are steelbooks. Now, you know I love my steelbooks, guys. I pretty much love picking up for them. It's been a little bit awkward trying to pick up steelbooks because they're very expensive and they just come out so frequently. It's really hard to keep up with all the steelbooks that are coming out. So I try to limit myself. I sort of give myself a few rules, you know. Just, you know, if you have to set rules, otherwise, you know, your bank balance is going to take a serious nosedive. And with game collecting as well, it's definitely not something that goes hand in hand with it. But you know, what I did say to myself was I was going to pick up a few. If it's sort of Marvel related, then I'll pick it up if I can. Or if it's like a movie that I really like, then I'll definitely aim for the steelbook as well. So the first one I have here is The Punisher. This is the 2004 Punisher. There are 3 Punisher movies. There's the '89 film with Dolph Lundgren. There's this film that came out in 2004, and then there's the other one, which is Punisher Warzone, which stars Ray Stevenson. They're all fun movies. None of them are particularly great. This is one of the better ones. Personally, I kind of enjoy Punisher Warzone a bit more, but this is a really good one. I really liked Thomas Jane in the role of the Punisher. And as you see, you've got the back here, you've got Thomas Jane, and you've got John Travolta, who plays Howard Saint, who's like the main villain. This was a bit of a weird film. It was just mainly because of where it was set. You would think this movie is pretty much set completely in Florida, which is really weird for a Punisher movie because Punisher's a very dark character. So you'd imagine him being in a very gritty, sort of urban city environment, but instead he's sort of like in this tropical climate of Florida, which is a bit weird. But the film is a lot of fun. I do enjoy the movie. And yeah, just glad to have it in the steelbook format. So yeah. And the last steelbook I've got here, and this is one I'm really, really chuffed to have, as I absolutely love this film in the cinema. And I'm a big fan of these new versions of this particular series. And that is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is the HMV exclusive film. It comes in a J card. So, just show you the steelbook here. Got Cobra at the back, and of course you've got the main character Caesar at the front. Awesome film. Really did enjoy this at the cinema. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was brilliant. I really did enjoy this one. And the sequel, this one here, didn't let me down. Fantastic, both movies. And I can't wait for the third one to come out. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of movie pickups. I've got 2 games here. I've got a PlayStation 2 game and I have a PlayStation 3 game. Like I said before, not been picking up many games. Just sort of holding off a little bit. But come the new year, I'll be picking up some good stuff. But for now, you know, between now and Christmas, you know, I'm just going to be picking up games here and there. But picking up games is not really going to be my focus right now. But I have one game here for the PlayStation 2 that I've been meaning to add into my collection. Certainly going to be a rare sight to see me pick up PlayStation 2 games. I've pretty much got all the games I've wanted to get, but I was glad to get this game primarily because I was very curious to play it. but also I didn't want to spend too much money on it. But I was lucky enough, I bought it on eBay and I got it for a good price. And the game is Jaws Unleashed, and it's in really nice condition. And I actually managed to pick this game up for pretty much a fiver all in, including postage. And I've been very curious to play this game. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this game, but most people say it's a lot of fun. And sure enough, it is. I mean, being able to play as the shark is so much fun. But unfortunately, the game is ruined by the camera. The camera is broken. I mean, it really does detract from the game itself. I mean, the mechanics, the general mechanics of the game are fine. Plays really well. I love the fact that where you can sort of shimmy just beneath the surface, and you can just lunge at unsuspecting people on their little boats and stuff. It's fantastic. All of that is amazing. It's really great fun to play. But when you're trying to turn around and when you're trying to make quick turns, quick U-turns, it's really awkward. Just down to the camera. The camera really lets this game down. If it wasn't for the broken camera, this game would be essential, as it is so much fun. It definitely, you know, if you ever want to imagine yourself playing as the shark, it is so much fun. But unfortunately, you know, because of the camera, you know, the rating of this game would have to be, I'd say it's pretty average, you know, just because of the camera. It lets the game down greatly. Because if it wasn't for the camera, you know, this would be a really, really good game. But still, you know, I'm glad to have it in the collection. And I managed to get it for a good price, because this game hovers for around sort of the £10 mark. I'm not willing to spend that much on this game, but I thought £5 all in, I thought that was a decent price. And the next game here is a game for the PS3 that I've been waiting to play for a very, very long time. But unfortunately, I was let down. I'm going to explain why. But the game is The Walking Dead Season 2. This is the second part to the Telltale game series, the sequel. And I absolutely loved the original. Fantastic point-and-click adventure game. Very story-driven, very atmospheric. I really did enjoy the characters. And from a story perspective, I really did enjoy this game as well. I love the characters in this game. Clementine, who is the main character of this game, just to see, you know, where her journey takes her. It was just great to see. It was a pleasure to see where the characters go in this game. I was really enjoying this game. Basically, this game is made up of 5 chapters. 5 separate chapters. Each chapter is about 2 hours long. And I've already completed this game, but unfortunately, this game has a bug that essentially ruins this game for me. And unfortunately, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. This game is ruined by the fact that I managed to complete all the way up to chapter 4, and when I started up chapter 5. The game sort of starts to load, but then it sort of crashes and it just sort of stays loading indefinitely. So I went online. It basically wouldn't start. So I went online just to sort of see if there was any resolutions for it, because there was no patches that were available. And it seems that other people have suffered a similar issue. Telltale Games have said that they are going to sort the issue, but I don't know when they're going to do that. Unfortunately, the only way for me to play chapter 5 was to delete my save data and sort of start the chapter completely new, which unfortunately, while it does work, it takes away the whole point of it, because as you're progressing through the game, you make decisions, and those decisions are carried over into the next chapters. So in order for me, if I erase my data and start chapter 5 clean, it basically automatically generates decisions. So it doesn't carry over none of my decisions. So basically it makes my entire journey pointless. And the other way around, they said, that I read up online, is if you save your data onto PlayStation Plus Cloud Network, then you'll be able to carry on from there, which is the only workaround, which they said. But I'm not signed up to PlayStation Plus, so unfortunately I couldn't take advantage of that option. So the only way I could see the end of this game was for me to erase all my data and start the 5th chapter clean, which kind of basically, even though I got to see the end, didn't really have the same satisfying punch to me because all the decisions that I'd been building up to had gone. So I'm really annoyed by this, and I think, you know, I mean, this topic has been brought up before, you know, about, it's very typical of these modern games that they just released and they're release broken, you know, and it's really, really frustrating because of that. Like now, you know, whenever they decide to patch this game, I'm still left with a very sour taste, you know, and it's going to affect me. I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to pick up future Telltale games. I know they've got one based on Game of Thrones that I really wanted to play, but you know, if this is the condition and the state of the game that they're going to release them in, you know, I don't want to know, because this is terrible. This is really, really piss poor. I don't expect this from a professional retail release. Very, very disappointing for an otherwise great game. Really sad. That's it, guys. I'm sorry to leave it on such a sour note, but what can you do? I mean, that's really is the really annoying part of a lot of these modern games. And I know it's a big factor as to why a lot of people prefer sticking to older games. You know, remember when those games came out and they were just complete from the off? Nowadays we have to get patches and all this and that, and it's bullshit. It is bullshit. You know, games should be, especially a game like this. I mean, this game isn't even that complicated. You know, it's not that much of a technical game. It's a shame, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be back very soon. Bye-bye.